All right, three, two, one. Hi, I'm your host, Kimberly Henry, and I'm here with Travis Black Law. And today we'll be talking with Travis about insurance companies and how they work to minimize losses and get out of paying victims who are pursuing their lawful right to compensation. Now, before Travis joins us, just a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance, you can reach us at travisblacklaw.com. And you can join us on Facebook at facebook.com/Travis Black Law Show. Travis, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, this is going to be a fun conversation, I think, because we all deal with insurance companies on some level, and we all have our frustrations, right?
Right.
And we've seen those friendly commercials, whether it's the cute little gecko or the Happy Day 30-second TV commercials. Actually getting paid out on your claim is quite different than what the commercials portray, isn't it?
Oh, yes. It's night and day. Insurance companies, their whole reason for existence is to make money. And the more they make, the happier their shareholders are, everybody working in the company are. And the way they make more money is they pay out less than they have to.
Right. Less money than they bring in.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to fight to get that claim paid.
I would say every time.
Every time. Okay. So over your career, you've worked with 3 different insurance companies, over 10 years of experience actually working within the insurance company.
Yes. I'm a retired police officer. I got hurt and retired, and then while I was in law school, I worked for 3 different insurance companies, and then shortly after I graduated, and then went out on my own.
So you've seen it from the inside out. What kind of attempts have you witnessed of insurance companies avoiding paying out on claims?
Well, let's talk about, I'm going to cover 2 areas. While I worked for an insurance company, I would see things. One of the companies I worked for had a program where they wanted their adjusters to immediately, within 24 hours, contact the person that was hurt and offer them up to $500 and just say, this money will help you. And they'd get them to sign a release. They'd hand them $500 and be on their way, and they release the insurance company for forever. So this person could be in the hospital with a broken back, and if they could get them to sign a release, the case is over.
Oh, wow. So don't
never,
sign anything right away.
Never.
Oh, wow.
Let me hit a little topic on that. Oftentimes you get in an accident and you've got so much adrenaline going and you're anxious and you're scared. I'm just all these feelings going through and you don't feel anything right then. Or maybe you're a little tight. And by the time you get home, you're a little sore. And then the next day you're getting more sore. And it can take up to a week. In fact, it can take weeks for all of the injuries to come out. And if the adjuster catches you that first day and says, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm just a little anxious." "Well, let me give you $500. So that's why you never just settle a case on the spot like that.
Wow. And we're talking about you're talking about maybe an auto accident there. There's all kinds of different claims that apply here. Can you kind of go into that?
Well, there's automobile accidents, obviously. That's always the first that pop into my head. You have things like slip and falls, trip and falls in grocery stores or on somebody else's property. You have roadway defect cases where let's say a city or a county or the state is doing road work and they haven't properly put the signs out or cones or lane changes and it makes it dangerous. Boating accidents. Just you think about any way that you could get hurt as a result of somebody else's negligence, you have a claim.
And homeowners insurance,
sure.
does that apply?
Think dog bites. If somebody owns a dog and it bites you, you pursue their homeowner's policy for that. Trip and falls. Again, you're at somebody else's house and it's nighttime and they've dug a hole and they haven't lit it up and they haven't told you about it and you step in a hole. I mean, that's a very simple example, but again, anytime you get hurt and it's somebody else's fault, you have a claim.
So you talked about an adjuster trying to kind of settle right away before you really realize what's going on. Are there other things that you should watch for that insurance companies are doing to avoid paying out?
If you watch TV shows, we've all seen where they read somebody their rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used as evidence against you. The same thing is true with insurance companies. They're always going to want to take a recorded statement every time. And they're going to ask you questions in such a way that they lull you into a false sense of security, and you're going to answer it, or you may answer it the way you think you should, and then they use that against you later on. So you never give a recorded statement. Never agree to it.
Okay, whether it's your own insurance company or the other party?
That's a little different. Your insurance policy, all policies say you have to cooperate with your insurance company. So if your insurance company calls when they want a statement, then you need to provide that. But you don't have to do it right then. I mean, if you're not feeling good, you can say, I don't feel good right now. Can I do it later? Again, this is where I think you should hire or at least speak with an attorney. The attorney can be present when this statement's being given so that he's making sure the questions aren't inappropriate questions.
So that leads me into my next question, and that is, so what should you do when you've been in an accident, your home has been damaged, your car has been totaled? What are your steps that you need to take? Well,
if you're at the accident scene, be it a car accident, anything that we've talked about already, if you have a phone or you have a camera, immediately document what you see. Take pictures from every angle you can think of. If there's witnesses, and oftentimes somebody will stop or they saw it, they'll walk and talk to you for 5 minutes, and then they leave. And if they leave and you haven't gotten their information, you've lost it. So always get witness information. If law enforcement is involved and they ask you questions, be very careful on how you answer the question. Never say, "Well, I'm okay." You might say, "Right now I'm just kind of really shook up. I don't really know how I feel." But if you say, "I'm okay," then that can be used against you later. You could get home and collapse and be taken to the hospital. But they've got a statement saying you're okay. Just be real careful what you say. And the other thing is put yourself in safety. If it's an automobile accident, make sure that you've moved or you're in a position so that you don't get hit again. I cannot tell you how many times somebody will get hit, step out of a car and get run over because they're in traffic. So you need to always protect yourself and your family.
Makes sense. And then I would say the next step would be to contact an attorney to find out what the next steps are, right?
I would agree with that. I think that, this is what we do for a living. And in my office, if you call, you're going to be told, this is what to expect. This is what I would suggest you do. If they want to meet with me, we'll set up a meeting.
And that's a free consultation, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I really, really want to understand is you've worked, as we talked about, in the insurance industry for over 10 years, And now, as an attorney, how does that help you secure a positive and speedy outcome for your clients?
I know the dirty little secrets that insurance companies play, and I can assure you, I'm very biased against insurance companies. I just have to tell you. People will say, well, I've had XYZ insurance for 25 years and they're great. And if you think about it, they've taken your money for 25 years. They've taken a lot of your money. And they're going to take care of you okay, but they're not going to take care of the person that you hurt. And I just don't trust them. It's like a rattlesnake. You don't get close to them.
Just open your eyes,
exactly.
right?
I mean,
and get some help.
Have your eyes wide open, and that's something else. You may not need an attorney, but at least talk to an attorney, and he's going to open your eyes. He's going to tell you what he thinks, and then if you want to talk to the insurance company, at least you're going in with information.
Yeah. I want to go back to something we talked about just a few moments ago, because this is something that comes up every time that we talk, Travis, and that's the documenting of an event. That we've talked about that when it comes to auto accidents. We just talked about it in our last show with personal injury. It sounds like, when anything happens, the best course of action to take is to document, like you're talking about.
I told you about taking pictures. Well, if you don't have a camera and you have paper and a pen, draw the intersection, draw where it occurred. The other thing, and it just came to me, I was just thinking about it, documentation. When you go to the doctor, oftentimes you're going to hurt all over, but let's say it's a slip and fall and you've hurt your ankle, and that's what's really hurting, and you tell the doctor that. But you also have low back pain, and you neglect to tell the doctor that you have low back pain. And maybe you're having headaches, and you neglect to tell him that. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, your ankle's getting better and your back's getting worse, and the doctor now hears about your back pain 3 or 4 weeks afterwards. The insurance company's going to use that against you and say, well, that obviously didn't happen in this accident. So again, tell your doctors everything that bothers you. I cannot emphasize that enough.
So not just document, but complete documentation. Okay, wonderful. Now, we alluded to it earlier, but I want to just be really clear. You do offer consultations. So if somebody has an insurance issue that they're wondering about or needing assistance with, they can get in touch with you and you can help, right?
When I meet with somebody, either on the phone or if they come into my office or I go meet them, it's where my practice is a little different than other attorneys. I will meet clients at work, at home. We meet a lot of clients at their doctor's offices. But I'm going to take as much time as it takes to help whoever I'm talking to. So, and it's free. When they meet with me, the first consultation is free.
That's fantastic. Wonderful service. And if you'd like to get in touch with Travis, it's www.travisblacklaw.com, or you can call 916-962-2896. Again, that's 916-962-2896. That just about does it for us today. You can follow us at Travis Black Law on Twitter, and you can join us on Facebook at facebook.com/Travis Black Law Show. Travis, thanks so much.